Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your MTN Statewide News this Friday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, 2 shooting deaths in less than 4 hours today across Yellowstone County. There are also 2 suspects in custody. Now, the latest shooting has the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office investigating the death of a woman in Ballantyne. Sheriff Mike Linder says deputies responded to the Long Branch Trailer Court after receiving a report about 6 a.m. An adult male has been arrested. He was located on East I Road about 2.5 hours later. The names of the suspect and victim have not yet been released. And a 33-year-old Billings man was shot and killed, and a suspect is behind bars after an incident in Central Billings just a few hours earlier. It happened around 3 a.m. at a home at 429 19th Street West. Now, police say the victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. 62-year-old Robert Knight is booked into the Yellowstone County Jail and faces a charge of deliberate homicide. We'll, of course, bring you more information as it becomes available. And 2 people are in the hospital and another's in jail after leading police on a chase through downtown Billings last night. Officers began to pursue a Honda Civic outside of Billings Clinic just before 10 p.m. A police car was rammed repeatedly during the chase, which finally ended at the corner of North 27th and 6th Avenue North. The driver of the Civic was arrested and 2 passengers were taken to the hospital with injuries. No officers were hurt in the chase. Police believe the driver was intoxicated. And an update on the Monday night shooting that left a Missoula man in critical condition. 20-year-old Zakai Hauk is now charged with attempted deliberate homicide for allegedly shooting someone in Missoula's Miller Creek area. The 20-year-old Hauk is held in the Missoula County Jail on a $2 million bond. He was arrested earlier this week in Lake County. The victim was shot multiple times and remains in serious condition. Well, Butte's Council of Commissioners will soon make a big decision. Commissioners are expected to decide at their meeting next week if they will approve the signing of the consent decree, which outlines the 5-year cleanup plan of mine waste across Butte. Now, this step must be completed before the plan can move to the state court for final approval. If all is approved, then cleanup work can begin to eventually remove Butte's status as a Superfund site.
So we got a lot of work ahead of us, but we got to get this consent decree done and stop talking about making Butte better and start doing the job and getting work done to make Butte better.
The Butte Council of Commissioners meeting is this Wednesday night, May 20th at 7:30. And it's now time to check in on the weather scene. It sounds like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Let's hear about it, Ed.
We got a rough transition to get there, but we will see some very warm temperatures over the weekend. Let's start off by showing you where we have rain and snow showers here as we get into midday. Western Montana, more active for the higher elevations, but check out all the sparkles across southern Montana, northern Wyoming. Those are all lightning strikes. We're getting an early start on it. I took everything out except the lightning, and you can see where it's starting to flash anywhere from around Lewistown, just south of Glasgow, especially over into the eastern plains and portions of southern Montana and northern Wyoming. Well, these thunderstorms bring severe weather. We'll talk about that and take a look at those warm temperatures Jeanelle mentioned in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Well, today we're learning more about 4 new positive COVID-19 tests out of Bighorn County yesterday. State officials say 2 of the cases involve girls between the ages of 10 and 19. A boy in the same age range is also included. The 4th case involves a man in his 30s. Now, these confirmed cases bring Bighorn County to 6 active cases. That's the most in Montana right now. County officials say 7 more tests are now pending. Well, the new cases jumped the state total from 462 to 466 and also increased the number of active cases from 15 reported on Thursday to 19. Custer County reports 2 more positive cases, but they are out-of-state workers. The individuals were asymptomatic and were tested through contract tracing. They worked with a person who tested positive on Tuesday. That individual likely brought in the virus with them, that's what county officials say, and did not contract it in Montana. Custer County health officials say all 3 of these people had very little contact with local residents. Because of state law, the work these individuals were doing was not made public. Nursing homes are working to figure out how they'll get all of their residents and staff tested. The vice president made the recommendation this week that all that testing needs to happen in the next 2 weeks. He's calling on the governors to make it happen. Now, this comes more than 2 months after the first major outbreak at a nursing home in Washington state. The American Healthcare Association will be requiring coordination within states, testing laboratories, and getting results quickly. Well, even with the good news of more businesses reopening, Montana experts say it could take up to 2 years for the state's economy to fully recover. Patrick Barkey of the University of Montana predicts the state will see 75,000 lost jobs in 2020. That's 25,000 more than he predicted just 1 month ago. Well, the numbers equal about 10% of all jobs in Montana, which Barkey says is quite severe. He does note, however, these are just projections and it might not play out this way, but he wants Montanans to be prepared just in case.
Do I think things will be worse than what we said? They could be, but 10% employment decline, 11% personal income decline, those are pretty nasty projections. It's a realistic assessment of where we are now. Am I optimistic about the future? Well, certainly I am. I think we're going to grow again, and when we grow again, we're going to grow rapidly, but we're digging out of a very deep hole.
Well, if you are a veteran, a military member, and happen to be in downtown Great Falls this weekend, listen up. You could save some money. It's part of Military Appreciation Days that kicked off yesterday. Now, the event recognizes active duty, retired military, veterans, National Guard members, and their families. Now, the event lasts through Saturday. For participating businesses, look for signs in downtown business windows. Today is also National Police Officers Memorial Day. Well, the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds will host a drive-in movie theater this Wednesday, and it's getting a pretty great response. Precautions will be taken. With the guidelines in place, they estimate they can have about 200 vehicles per venue, and concession stands will be available. Tickets start out at $7 per person or 1 carload for $25. Now, tickets will be sold online only, and the movies that will be playing will be announced very soon. Now, summer events around Montana continue to be just wiped out. The Tippett Rise Arts Center near Fishtail canceled its upcoming summer concerts and sculpture tours. They are providing some digital alternatives. Also announced, country music star Kenny Chesney has postponed his summer tour, including the July 5th show at Bobcat Stadium in Bozeman. Now, new tour dates move to 2021 and have not yet been announced. Well, if you plan on using Uber to get around, drivers now have some new directions to follow. Drivers must take pictures of themselves to prove they are wearing masks. Passengers are required to wear masks also, but they don't need to submit a photo. Passengers cancel a trip for no charge if they see that a driver isn't wearing a mask. Uber says it's part of its precautions to keep drivers and riders healthy. We have more ahead on today's noon news, including a look at changes for the state AA softball tournament. The time now is 12:08, but Ed's in next with your statewide weather forecast.